Welcome, y'all. Welcome back. I'm happy to see y'all, beautiful souls. It's been a minute. And shout out to all the divine, feminine, beautiful women who have already signed up for the Feminine Frequency Retreat happening next year, July 2026. Thank you so much. And just to let you know, there is only just a few spots left. Don't miss out. The sale is over, but I don't know. I may be feeling nice at some point. I might pop up with another one, but if not, there is a payment plan for y'all to pay little by little until July of next year. There's plenty of time. There's no excuses. So you want to be healed, rejuvenated, recharge, reclaim your power, sign up for the Divine Feminine Frequency Retreat happening in Costa Rica 2026, y'all. Anyways, something dawned to me, something just was just resting on my chest when I was having this conversation with someone, and I just decided I'm just going to talk about it because we all have experienced it. And especially when we're getting into relationship, y'all really need to take the time to self-evaluate and self-analyze to make sure that you're not bringing extra luggage into the relationship, because sometimes we think we're healed from a certain occurrence, betrayal, disrespect, and we haven't fully healed. In some very particular cases, like, you can still be in a relationship and heal, but sometimes you do have to take that time to isolate and work on yourself and do the inner work and do the shadow work. And that's just how it's going to be. That's just how it is. I don't know what else to say. You do need the time to just be by yourself. You do need the time where you're not distracted. You do need the time to just feel a little bit of that sadness. Not too much. Don't get depressed. And even if you are depressed, don't be stuck in it. Still move around. Depression, I believe. My belief of depression is just like stagnant energy that turns into sadness because you're just replaying certain stories and occurrences that happened in the past over and over again, and it's just staying stuck. So for me, if I feel myself feeling sad, it's like an indication that I need to move, and I suggest you move as well. But yeah, being betrayed, being cheated on, being disrespected, being violated is gut wrenching, and I personally have gone through my fair share of disrespect from lovers, partners, baby daddies, friends, jobs, family members, you name it. I think I've pretty much experienced it all. Even my dog bit me. I even had a dog bit me, and I just felt so betrayed. I was like, babes, I've been feeding you, giving you kibble every day, brushing your fur, and you bit me? How could you? The audacity. And it hurts. It sucks. I don't suggest anyone to just ignore that feeling. Sadness shouldn't just be avoided as well, just like you shouldn't push away like the joys of life. You shouldn't push away the lows, the pits. It's okay to sit in a little bit of sadness because it's the only way you can process it. Why? Take that time to isolate. Take that time to reconfigure. Take that time to assess yourself, your thoughts, and the emotions of things and your behaviors, right? Because at the end of the day, a lot of disrespect, disloyalty, A lot of the violations that people inflict onto us can be avoided if we had the not only discernment, but the self-worth, the self-respect, the boundaries, the boundaries. The lack of boundaries is probably what gets most of us in a lot of the mud. Um, that was really hard for me to admit when I went through what I went through, especially when I was like postpartum. For the longest while, it was very hard for me to blame myself to some extent, because we're just so used to pointing fingers outwards instead of being like, bruh, where was my boundaries then? Where was my self-respect then? Where was my values then? My integrity then? So it's deeper than just heartbreak, you know? It's the betrayal bruises your ego, your pride, and your identity. Your identity. Some of us have been prompted our whole life to feel a certain way about ourselves. Oh my God, Tay, you're so this, you're so that, you're such a good woman, you're such a good worker, you're such a good this, that. And then when someone comes into your life and treats you like a piece of shit, you question all of it. It's like, am I that piece of shit all along? Have I been this piece of shit all along, and now this person just came into my life and now he's just showing me that I'm a piece of shit? Or am I still that amazing woman that I've always been? And 9 out of 10 times, you know, let me not say 9 out of 10 times. Let's say 10 out of 10 times, you're not that piece of shit. You just made piece of shit's decisions to allow people to come into your life and treat you like you're a nobody when you're a somebody, okay? You're always a somebody, regardless of what someone does to you, okay? You're always going to be the prize, the table, the 5-course meal, the snack, the dinner, the entree, the crown, the trophy, whatever it is that you tell yourself. You're going to always be like that regardless of who other people think of you. That doesn't change. That doesn't change. So remember that, okay? But let me tell you, their shady behavior is all about them, okay? It has nothing to do with you. It's easy for someone to violate you and to betray you and to cheat on you and to disrespect you when they don't even have that respect for themselves. They don't have that love for themselves. They don't have that loyalty for themselves. Okay? They don't have boundaries for themselves. When you lack emotional, physical, sexual, mental, emotional, yeah, I think I said all of it. Foundation, standards, maturity. It's nothing for you to just turn your life into muck and hurt everybody around you, even the ones that love you. I saw it go sometimes, and there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot love someone into treating you right. They're going to do what they're going to do regardless. And don't be trying. I've already said this a million times. Don't save them. They don't want to be saved. Let them go and continue on to your path. 10 out of 10 times, their rejection is a redirection. I promise you, if you align yourself with your purpose, you align yourself with God, the universe, you align yourself with self, and you take pride in self, everything else will align. You actually might feel silly afterwards. You're like, how the hell did I tolerate such foolery? That's why I always say I don't give second chances. Because once I realize how worthless you are, I don't want you back. I don't want you back. Don't text me back. Don't spin the block. Don't do none of that. Me no want you. I don't want you. So signs that you haven't healed yet. Number one, you bring up betrayal in almost every argument. You bring up your ex in almost every situation, every conversation. You're making comparisons. Don't do that. Let it go. A lot of us have broken up with our ex partners physically. They may not be there in the physical, but they are still there in the spiritual and the emotional. We hold on to them emotionally. We're checking up on them, seeing how they're doing. We're stalking their profiles, seeing what they're up to. And you need to cut the cord. You need to cut the cord once and for all. Because you're going to bleed on everybody else who tries to come into your life, regardless of what they shower you with. They can be showering you, spoiling you with the utmost love, but you are robbing yourself with the past. You're robbing yourself with the past and the betrayal. And don't do that, please. We don't need any more wounded dogs out there. You're side-eyeing everybody's phone like you're some type of FBI detective. Everybody wants to be a detective. Instead of standing in your, what's the word? In your confidence. You don't need to be checking anybody's phone. I don't think I've ever checked an ex's phone. I think maybe one time I stumbled on my ex's emails. And thank God I did. Because he was talking to his ex, saying all sorts of foolery. But even if, everything in the dark will come to light. I trust my intuition. And I trust my gut, my feelings. I trust God enough that he will bring forth and reveal people that are not meant to be in my life. Period. I'm not going to run around acting like this insecure little brat, checking your phone and questioning all your whereabouts because I need to feel secure in something that I felt like I lost control of years ago, months ago, whatever. I don't care. I have better things to do than to not get paid to be an FBI agent. I have a whole child to take care of. I'm trying to run a business. I'm trying to start businesses. I ain't chasing you, boo. If you want to go out there and do, go, please. Go. Otherwise, I ain't tracking you down. I don't need your location. I'm going to trust in what you tell me until I find otherwise. When I find out otherwise, then I'm going to let you go more than likely if it's unrepairable, but I saw it go sometimes. Another thing, another sign I would say is when you built up walls so high that not even Amazon Prime can deliver love to you. And I've been guilty of that. I've built up walls in the past that some men have just been like, bitch, you too much. I am not reaping the repercussions of what an ex-man did to you in the past. Because I was traumatized, especially after my child's father. I was just telling men, oh my God, I would never want kids ever, 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 ever again. And for the men who never had kids, they're like, okay, but like, it's not like that for everybody. Some men actually stick around and want to be good dads. Like some men will shower you with love. Some men will still find you beautiful. Some men will, have, a sense of pride and integrity and masculinity and foundation and stability where they would never leave you alone, regardless of how annoying you are. But I didn't want to believe that. I was just speaking I was living out of trauma. I was living out of the lens and perspective of the past, and it wouldn't allow me to believe any words that were coming out of their mouth, even though they constantly would reassure me. And I feel like I may have pushed a lot of people away because of that. But you have to learn. You have to heal. That's why I said in the beginning, just make sure you are fully healed before getting into a relationship after being betrayed. Okay? Please do that. So, number one, acknowledge it. Stop trying to play tough. You ain't a tough. You ain't a tough bitch. I'm trying not to curse. You ain't no tough. Nah, we are all emotional beings, not just women. We are all emotional beings. We all have emotions. We all should feel safe enough to express it. And we should all acknowledge when we're feeling sad, when we're feeling betrayed and disrespected, and go through the motions of things and seek help and resources to help heal that. Okay? Please. And yes, you may want to fight. You may want to fight them, their mama, the doggy, the sister, the brother, the auntie. But, just know that emotions are they're like a passing train, They don't usually stop. And if they stop for a short time and then they keep it pushing. Just know that they're temporary. So just keep it pushing. There's always light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Number two, detach the betrayal from your self-worth. What they did to you does not define who you are. What they did to you does not define who you are. You are still the amazing, beautiful soul that God made you to be, regardless of what someone did to you, okay? So don't let someone's dusty ass son or daughter tell you anything else or have you believe anything else, because that's far from the truth. And I'm here to say that, and I'll say that 1,000 times again to make sure that y'all don't believe that someone's worthless son or daughter are the reasons why you feel like you are not destined for greatness, okay? What else? Number three, release the pride wound. This is hard. This is a hard one, especially for men. I know when men get cheated on, it feels a little bit different than like in comparison of like when a woman does. Because it attacks their masculinity, their manhood. But I'm here to tell you, you need to detach their disrespectful, volatile, hostile, betrayal acts away from your actual self-worth and self-respect, okay? Release it into the universe. Whatever it is that you need to do, you are not the person that who got betrayed. You are the person who survived betrayal and still looks good. Actually, you look better. You'll look better. You look better after betrayal, because once that level up game starts to kick in, you don't need no revenge. You don't need no revenge. Look at me. You guys, you can't tell me that I'm not doing better after all the bullshit that I've been through. I am thriving, and so will you. So just get over that little hump. You'll be fine, okay? Number four, rebuild trust slowly, and not just with people, but with yourself. I know that I really suffered from shame when I got betrayed multiple times, because I just felt like I couldn't trust my decisions anymore. I just felt like I was just a twat. A dumb little twat that wasn't smart enough to discern or to make logic decisions. But that's not always the case. Some things don't require logic decision making. Some things just, you go off of the matters of the heart. And like anything else, you learn from whatever mistakes you make. Regardless of if it's a job or a partner or a family member or a friend, you got to be able to look at the silver lining and really filter out the nonsense and look at, okay, so what did I learn from that? Because once you can take the lesson out of the act, then you'll be able to rebuild your confidence because it's something that you've learned from. You can't grow from something that you feel like you haven't learned from. You're going to stay stuck if you feel like you haven't learned anything. And not just emotionally, but mentally. You're going to keep replaying the betrayal over and over again. You're going to keep feeling the shame and the disloyalty and the lack of worth and lack of boundaries if you are not able to establish and distinguish the lesson that came out of that act. Okay? So learn from it. And number 5, which is hard for a lot of people, but to choose forgiveness for peace, not only for the person, not only for God, but for yourself. When you forgive, you don't have to allow that person to come back into your life. Oh, it's a blue jay. How pretty. I think they're good luck, aren't they? Um, but you learn to forgive yourself. And it's okay to make silly mistakes over and over and over again, but you have to forgive yourself each and every time. You fall 11 times, you get back 12. And that will help you rewire your brain to have stronger resilience and solution based patterns, behaviors in your head. You know, when you're able to get over certain obstacles in your life, you become sharper, you become more resilient, you become stronger, and you become wiser and more discerning, more trustworthy, not only for yourself, but for other people. You gotta act like you have some sense. So that's all I have to say. You don't get rent free, stays anymore in my head after you betray me. That's just the way it is. You're not living rent free in my head. Forgiveness isn't saying it's okay, it's saying that you don't live rent free in my head. I don't live there no more. Rent gone up. The rent is up. Okay? So I want you guys to think about that, journal about it. What did this betrayal teach me about my boundaries? What kind of clown behavior I will not accept anymore? And tell yourself, I am not bitter. I am better. I am worthy of loyalty, respect, and a partner who knows not to play with me. Okay? And I want you to write down their name, what they did, and burn that paper like you're cooking up a new beginning. Say bye-bye to the baggage, okay? Clock that. And I just want you guys to know that disrespect and betrayal might knock you down, but baby, don't stay on the floor. You better get up. Get up from the floor like them crackheads out downtown, okay? They don't stay down on the ground. They be getting on up and going about their business, okay? And you should too. But I want to thank you guys, honestly, for staying in and healing with me and learning from me and doing all the things. I want to thank you guys so much for just being by my side, supporting me, supporting my retreats, liking, sharing, subscribing. I love you guys so much. You guys give me so much light and joy when I receive texts and comments and DMs about how much of an impact I'm making onto your lives. Just know that you're not the only one. I am also growing as well as you. So I appreciate y'all. Let's make the world a better place. But once again, this is Raising Your Crown. Holla at your girl for next time.